Ken, it looks like the side's just a mere shell of what it was in those first 11 weeks.
Yeah,
we've certainly made of that.
Yeah, look, we're certainly not playing anywhere near with, well, as much as we're not playing with the confidence that we had in those first 10 to 12 weeks of the football season. What we've done is got ourselves into some poor form and lost a lot of confidence, I reckon, because of that. And that's coming out in the way we're playing now. That's not easy to recover, but it's something you just got to keep working at to recover, because the losses, I can sit here and pretend that they're close losses, which that's what the scoreboard will tell us. But at the end of the day, it's the way we've played and the way we've looked to the eye, I think, for everyone that's watched us play.
One of the strengths that you pointed out in round one was that you would outrun sides. But
yep.
If you don't have the ball, you can't run. Is that the real key, that you've begun to lose, almost like, I don't want to say appetite, but you've virtually lost the ability to win contested ball as freely as you did once?
Yeah, no, we've lost in tight, there's no doubt. We've lost, you know what we've done? We've actually fumbled in tight. We've actually had our chances to win the ball in tight, and I just said that to the boys. That's a reflection of us just not being strong enough and hard enough at AFL level for a whole season, you know, and that's a challenge for us to get that right. We've got some big body midfielders that play in there, and they haven't been able to handle the heat for 4 to 6 weeks.
What about the way they use the handball?
We overuse the handball, there's no doubt about that. You know, and every time we play poorly, the same questions come out that we over handball. Again today we've gone 187 kicks, 191 handballs. That's just too many. You know that's too many. You don't have to sit in the crowd to watch that or sit in the coach's box. I'm sure the players understand that, but they can't get out of it in the game.
Is there also sort of bad handballs, those sort of short ones?
Well, it's a transfer of pressure. Yeah. That's all it is. It's someone not being prepared to handle the pressure, and just at the moment we can do that, but we just at the moment look like we've lost a little bit of composure in that part of the ground.
So where are you at then, in the sense that you'd set up an opportunity to have a top 4 finish? Now that seems to be fading away. So is this a group that's going to completely fade away, or do you think they've got something still left in them?
Oh no, that's the challenge for them. That's a fair question, and that's a challenge that they have to answer themselves a little bit, with us with coaches and them as players, and as a footy club we have to answer that challenge now that it's rightly put upon us. We've got to show that whether we're up for the challenge and keep going for another 4+ weeks, whatever that might be. You know, there's no bigger challenge than next week for us, which is a good thing probably. We actually get to go and play Sydney, which will be a good thing.
In your eyes, who's vastly gone off what they were at the start of the year?
I think collectively the whole team in some way, and it's not vastly. Vastly is probably the wrong word. We've gone off a little bit, and all you've got to do in this game is go off a little bit. You know, our ability to win in tight, our ability to defend in our back 50, our ability to make good decisions with the ball under a little bit of pressure, all that's just dropped off, you know, and that's why we've lost by small margins. It's dropped off a little bit because it patches through the game. I felt as if we were getting on top of the game and we were going to be okay, but at no stage did I sit there with any confidence about how we were playing.
You've got 2 options here. You can get a reaction by taking some scalps at selection, or you keep showing faith in them. Which way do you want to go?
Oh no, I won't make that decision today. I'll sit down and have a think about that and see what it looks like. But rightly or wrongly, people who continually not playing at the level, they put themselves at risk, not me. They make that choice, and my responsibility is to reward the people who are in consistently putting up good form.
You're not getting enough goals now. What's happened to that sort of supply, and also the players you've got in attack?
Look, what's happened is that we've just not been allowed to get the ball in there the way we'd like to get in there. I think the opposition have slowed us down. They've defended as well. And, you know, even today we had good opportunities to go in there, and we actually helped them a little bit ourselves. We put the ball long to the goal, on the goal line, and allowed them to punch the ball through. You know, 5 or 6, I don't know what we end up with, that's 6 or 7 rush points. You know, that's just, again, not playing composure footy.
What about the one where Monfries has the shot that doesn't get there? Are you disappointed that not one of your tall players worked the goal square in that way?
Yeah, a little, but I'm more disappointed that Monfries doesn't make that kick. That's just a poor kick. I mean, if anyone's played football, you sit out there and watch that and think, yeah, he's going to kick that. It's pretty poor by us if we want to blame anything but the kick, I think.
And you know, better than anyone, do you think they can get that confidence back between now in time to make an impact on the season?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's what happens in the footy season. It does spin around, but you do need something to break that. You need something to get you over that little bit of a hill that we're facing right now. And you know, maybe it is an opportunity to play against Sydney and, you know, a bit of go at them as best we possibly can and see what happens. Because it was only 6 or 7 weeks ago we played Sydney on their ground, and we give a really strong performance that everyone said, no, we're a legit amongst that group of teams, and you know, we've dropped off since then. They maybe took the heat out of us.
Ken, the question we've always asked if you need an extra forward, that's become a bit more difficult for you now, hasn't it, after the weekend, particularly with Butcher?
Yeah, no, John's John's in hospital. John's unwell. He's got viral meningitis, unfortunately, and we've got another player that's in hospital at the same time in Redden. We've got a number of people around the football club that have been just unfortunately in the last 48 to 72 hours have all become a bit ill. Nah, look, we're not sure yet. He's in hospital, so we will test him for all the same things. Obviously, when it's something like that, it's an obvious conclusion that it may be that, but I don't know. We've just had a relapse. No, it's an illness. No, it's similar to what John went into hospital with. What he's got wrong with him. The symptoms are very similar. But
is that a factor today because you brought those two emergencies this morning? Is that an issue that they weren't fine or healthy for this game?
No, we tend to take the two emergencies most times when we travel. One of the emergencies we took young Carl, as much as we give him a good bit of experience, and we go with Mitchell as coverage. But we did have a couple of blokes. I mean, I can say we had blokes sick, but that just sounds like making an excuse. We didn't. We went into the game with our full squad that was out there playing well, trying to play well, I should say, not playing well.
And Dane Beams had 8 clearances, played 10-minute mark in the second term. Did you pay enough attention to him early? No, probably not. Well, we had plans in place. There's no doubt we were going to put Kane on to him as soon as we thought, if that was what we thought was going to happen. Not necessarily Beams. We were mindful of their midfield and really watching them. But the centre bounce numbers was 0-9. Someone had to get him, and Dane probably was in the right spot, unfortunately. And I think it's because we fumbled a bit of our opportunities in there, and they cleaned us up. Did you make a conscious effort to lock down him after that?
Yep. Yeah, we sent Kane Corns to him. And Kane actually had the ability to at least limit some of the damage that he was doing, obviously. But that game wasn't won and lost then either, though. The game was still plenty. played right to the end. So you'll always have. I mean, Hartlett kicks 4 goals. Beams gets some clearances. That's the rest we have in the. You just try and get the right ones, the right matchups right as best you possibly can. And Beams got on hold of us early, and that's the way it went.
Okay, the question we ask you: did your program go too hard too early?
Yeah, I had that discussion with the boys inside. That's one of the. I thought straight away one of the questions would be we're running out of steam. I don't think we're running out of steam. I think it's a long season, and all sides are. I went and watched Geelong and Kangaroos play last night. It was a pretty physical game, and it looked like hard work for both sides. But that's just what the game does to you at this time of the year. It's hard work, and we've got lots of work to do. But I don't think we've gone too hard. I totally believe in what we've done. I think it's fine.
Is it more mental than physical?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's what happens. You lose your confidence, and once your confidence disappears, so does some of the outward stuff that you can do, some of the ability that you portray, the run, the kick, the handball, the mark, the conversion, all those things start to take a hit.
Some players will be clearly identified on the outside. The question of where is Polak?
Sorry?
Some of the players will be identified from the outside. Where's Polak gone after his start? Where's Wingard? Are all those questions going to be fair in your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what footy is. If your form drops off, you get asked the questions, and the open and honest discussion I just had with the boys about Albert, because we're on a quick turnaround. The questions I'm going to get asked are those sort of questions. What's happened? What's gone wrong? We've just dropped off a little bit, and I said our confidence has been dented, and we've now got to figure out a way to get that back, because that's what happens. Because a couple of those boys you mentioned had parts of the game where they were still got going a bit, but not for full 4 quarters. You don't win footy at AFL level if you don't play 4 quarters.
Well, thanks.